I'm Zeus, and this video is a guide to selling on OPSKINS. We're going to look at specific things you can do to maximize the amount of money you end up with on that platform, regardless of what your reasons for selling there are. And as part of that, I'm also going to explain how you should go about things if you don't have a membership on OPSKINS, because there's ways to get around having to pay that full 10% sales tax. Before we get started though, I'd just sort of do a quick shameless plug for the Times 4 AK Redline giveaway I'm running. Click the link below if you want to enter. Otherwise, I think we can get started. Now, our starting premise in this video is going to be a ubiquitous guiding principle in life, and that's that time equals money. The longer you're willing to wait to sell something on OPSKINS, the more money you'll be able to make. However, there are a lot of variables, and certain items are much better suited to being sold quickly, and certain items are much better suited to being sold more slowly. And the key to maximizing the amount of money you get when you sell stuff on OPSKINS is knowing which items are which. In the process, it should become quite clear how you can make money by transferring skins back and forth from OPSKINS and other platforms. I promise that it will be evident by the end of the video. First of all though, I'll address getting an OPSKINS membership. So you can subscribe under this tab on the website here. The cost is $6 a month, and it will reduce your sales tax from 10% to 5%. You'll want to buy one if you're selling more than $120 worth of stuff a month. If you're selling more than that, it will save you money rather than costing it. Also keep in mind that if you're in the business of trading stuff back and forth from the Steam market to trading sites to OPSKINS, you will run up that number pretty easily, even if the amount of stuff you're trading with is quite small. So our first point of call is going to be keys and the things that they're good for. And to begin this, ironically enough, I've actually got to talk about something completely different, and that's the OPSKINS quick sell function. So the function itself is pretty simple. Get an item in your OPSKINS inventory and you'll have the option of quick selling it. This is my inventory, for example. There's a shit ton of Cobra Strikes here. It's almost like I'm planning on doing some sort of trade up blitz with them. But anyway, as you can see, there's two options here to instant sell the items. The one on the left is for OP points. OP points are a separate type of currency that you can use on OPSKINS. They work exactly the same as American dollars, except that you can't cash them out. And the second is straight up US dollars. Now, if you're quick selling a Cobra Strike, the site will give you roughly 10 to 15% less than the market price of the item on the market itself. The market price is before sales tax though, so if you don't have a membership, the amount of money you lose through quick selling will only be a couple of percent. If you do have a membership, it'll be more like 5 to 10%. The Cobra Strike is fairly illustrative of what you'll get from most skins on the market that are selling at decent volumes. If you quick sell them on OPSKINS, you'll lose a small percentage of your value in exchange for getting rid of them instantly. It should also be added, you can only quick sell high volume items. Stuff that sells very infrequently can't be quick sold, but that's the same with most trading sites, so no surprises there. This is where keys come in though, because if we look at their instant sales prices, so for example we have a Phoenix key, a Wildfire key and a Breakout key, and compare their instant sale prices to the prices that they're selling for on the market, you can see that the margin is a lot narrower. Even if you're selling for US dollars rather than operation points, you'll lose a few cents at most, much less than your sales tax, even with a membership. So there's a few worthwhile things to draw from this. First of all, regardless of whether you have a membership or not, you should always instant sell keys. You will always get more money instant selling them than you will if you just list them. Secondly, if you don't have a membership, regardless of whether it's because you can't afford one or it isn't worth the investment, instant selling keys is a really good way to get around the 10% sales tax. If you want to buy a few things off OPSKINS, just instant sell some keys there. Finally, if you want your money instantly when you're selling on OPSKINS, if you don't have time to wait for something to sell, instant selling keys is the most efficient way of going about it. If you want your money right away, go for keys. So now we can start moving on to ordinary skins, and the reason keys were a better starting point is that there's a relationship between the price of keys and the price of ordinary skins. What keys do is they sort of set the exchange rate between different platforms, because no matter what happens, you can always buy a key for $2.50 worth of wallet funds on Steam. And yes, if you're paying with euros, Valve is screwing you over, and there's some countries that get keys for slightly less than $2.50 in their own currency, so maybe the true price is slightly less, but either way, this is the trendsetter in the CSGO economy. Interestingly enough, OP Skins dollars have always been worth the most, so if you have $1 on OP Skins, it'll be worth about $1.40 on a trading site and $1.25 on the Steam community market, which, by the way, if you're looking to deposit money to buy skins, that means that you'll get the most bang for your buck if you deposit on OP Skins. As a general rule, the prices on OP Skins will roughly sync up with other platforms based on the exchange rate of keys. Now, there will be some deviation from skin to skin, maybe about 5% in each direction on average. It might not be possible to make a profit from this, but I do recommend taking full advantage of it because it will minimize the effect that sales tax will have cumulatively on the amount of money you end up with. Because of OPSKIN's nature as a sales platform though, it does offer some advantages when trying to sell specific sorts of skins that other platforms don't. First of all, it's a good place for selling low float skins, particularly low float factory new skins that are within the last couple of percent of their float range. This in part is because of the way the site displays float values and facilitates searching for skins by float. It's a lot easier to sell a low float skin on OP Skins than it is on something like the Steam community market, and in my experience at least, so long as you're patient, you can get better overpay on OP Skins for a low float skin than you will on any other trading site. Once again, it comes back to a bit of that whole time equals money thing. As a result, buying low float skins off other platforms and then selling them on OP Skins can become a very viable way of making a profit. Now, I will state up front going into this that as far as I'm concerned, the only way to truly master doing this is to practice it. There's no one who can give you a piece of advice that will make you an expert right away, but there are some basic tips I can give you that will help you get started. First of all, the effect that a low float has on a particular skin's price is often quite skin specific. So if you have a particular skin in a low float, you need to be specifically researching that type of skin itself. Now, there's a few ways you can do this. First of all, I'd recommend going onto OP Skins and looking at the past sales history of that particular skin. Look for any low float versions of that skin that have sold and see what they've sold for. Also, look at what the existing low float listings are priced at. You'd also want to look to see what the overpay is on a trading site like CS Money, because at the bare minimum, you'll at least want that much overpay. There's also a number of characteristics which can act as indicators about how much the value of any particular skin will be affected by having a low float. First of all, obviously, the lower the float is, the more a skin is generally worth. Secondly, the harder a skin is to get in a low float, the more a low float skin is going to be worth. So otherwise, the more this bar here is bright green, i.e. the bigger the float range is, the more valuable a low float is going to be. Thirdly, low float skins tend to be worth more when having a low float has a bigger effect on the appearance of the skin, particularly if it's really difficult to get a clean finish. And finally, the effect on price becomes more dramatic the rarer and more valuable the base skin is. For instance, it makes almost no difference on very cheap skins, but it can have a huge difference on rarer and more valuable skins. For example, we're going to look at the StatTrak Factory Nemesis. So it's a nice play skin, it gets some use in trade-ups, its float has a moderate effect on its appearance, the float range is relatively narrow though. As you can see, the skin is ordinarily going for about $16, but they're being priced at about $20 with a float of 2%, and priced at about $25 with a float of 1%. And I've sold lots of these in low floats, and I know that if you're patient, they will sell for around these prices. As for how you actually get your hands on the low float skins in the first place though, I'll just discuss this briefly here. It's something I could do a video on some other time if people are interested. There's three main ways. Firstly, you can design trade-ups to do it, which only works with specific skins, but it is viable. Secondly, you can snipe them off trading sites or the Steam market. And the final option is to use buy orders, but keep in mind if you use buy orders, You're going to get some low float skins that way, but you're going to get a lot of crap that you're going to need to resell, so you'll probably need quite a bit of money to do that with. Regardless of what approach you take though, the key will always be time and patience. Time equals money, as always. The second speciality of OP skins is sticker combinations and patterns. The reason why it's a good platform for this is in part just because it's actually just quite buyer friendly to use. It's easy to see what stickers are on the skins, the inspect button's right there, it's easy to search for certain stickers, it's just generally convenient. It also has an instant field inspect feature, which normally you do have to pay for, but often they'll actually just give it to more expensive skins, provided you're willing to wait a bit. This is also an excellent feature for highlighting rare stickers and unusual patterns. So the strategy involved here is pretty simple, at least at face value. Identify underpriced skins on other platforms and resell them on OPSKINS for a profit. Now, obviously to do this, you need to understand how these items are priced, and there's a huge range of stickers and skins with patterns out there. It will depend entirely on what you're trying to sell. Now, I'm not going to personally opine about this for too long because it's not really my specialty. I'd recommend just searching online for pricing guides, particularly in old Reddit threads, and also make sure you check what things are listed for already on the OPSKINS market. Just to be clear, there will also be quite a bit of practice involved in getting good at this sort of stuff as well. It's not something you can master overnight. An important component will also be honing your purchasing skills. Getting good at sniping stuff on trading sites on the Steam market is going to be one aspect of it. Just straight up trading for skins is also quite a useful skill as well. It is an area though where you'll probably have to learn by doing. It's not something you can really properly understand until you're actually engaged in it. Once again, it will require time and patience to get good at, but once you've managed that, you do stand to make quite a bit of money. So that's the core of the video out of the way. Hopefully at this point it's fairly clear how you can go about making a profit trading stuff between other platforms and OPSKINS. It's a good way of generating a profit. It does involve some self-teaching though, but that is really par for the course if you're going to be a trader. There are a few loose threads I'll tie up before I finish up though. Firstly, if you're wondering where knives are in all of this, everything I said about skins more or less applies to knives as well. I mean, obviously you can't get stickers on knives, but patterns are a very big thing on knives as well, and instant field inspect is a really good way of showing it off. Just a warning about getting involved with knives though. If you want to do any large scale trading, you're going to have to invest quite a bit of capital into it, and also you're going to have to be quite savvy about working out how to price things, because I can guarantee you a lot of the big traders out there who trade a lot of knives aren't going to be making it public how they price things. And also I will add to that I've never done any trading of knives before, so unfortunately I can't really help you if you're wondering how much overpay any particular pattern or float will get on any particular knife. The second sort of side area I wanted to talk about is stickers. Now stickers will generally be priced the same way as ordinary skins. However, I have noticed with a lot of older, less common and less demanded stickers, the prices can be quite irregular, which is absolutely something you can exploit, but also keep in mind that the volumes of these items are going to be quite low, so there's only so far it can be taken. And my final point, which I really want to emphasize, is that every time you sell or trade something on a platform, aside from directly trading with somebody else, you will incur a sales tax. For example, if you have a skin in your inventory and you want to turn it into money on OPSKINS and you don't have a membership there, don't just go and automatically convert it into keys. Check to see whether the process of converting it into keys will cost you more than that 10% sales tax will in the first place. And to that end, I have to emphasize that the only truly reliable way around this problem is directly trading with somebody for keys. The act of converting an item to keys on a trading site or Steam community market will generally cost you more money than it saves. So that ends this guide. I hope people find it useful. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I do want to emphasize going away from this that if you want to get good at trading, you need to be, first of all, patient, but also you need to be able to do your own research. It's not like trade up contracts. You can't just be given the numbers and work from that. You really need to get used to doing it in your own right. Anyway though, thanks for watching. Please like and sub if you like this content. Otherwise, trust the numbers, not your gut. I'm Heyzeus. Thanks for watching. See ya.